How beautiful. Don't mind me, I'm just here observing this beautiful black tourmaline. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I'm going to talk to you about a few new pieces that have been added to the shop. But the first one I wanted to highlight and review with you is this beautiful tourmaline. Comes in many different variety of colors. One is a watermelon color, which looks like a watermelon, has a beautiful pink and green color to it. But scroll is known as the black tourmaline, as you see the piece that I have here. Now you don't want to mistake it with other black stones that you do see around. Black tourmaline is completely black. It's not translucent or clear at all like other stones. I believe obsidian is a little bit. This one is just beautiful and has these amazing edges and ridges along the way. And I use it for a variety of purposes. And one of the first stones that I did add to my crystal collection was this one of tourmaline. And I specifically got it for protection and just cleansing. At the time, I was really into just learning about astral traveling, rituals and things of that nature, as well as tarot readings. But I was forgetting that I also needed a way to recharge and also protect myself when my energy is pretty much out there. So it's important when you are working in any spiritual aspect that you do have that aspect of protection and grounding as well, because you want to have that balance where you don't always give of your energy and don't replenish yourself back. So this is what tourmaline has been very good for in terms of protection from low vibrations, negative energy from people around you. It's really sad, but there are a lot of people that exist around the world who are going through things personally and don't know how to deal with it. So in turn, it turns into envy, into anger, maliciousness, and so forth. And unfortunately, we have to be exposed to those type of people and energies on a daily basis, whether it be people that we live with, people that we work with, or just people we interact with on a day-to-day basis. It's important that we have that level of protection from our auric field and let them deal with what they're dealing with, but at the same time not intoxicating you with their toxic and low energy. So this is what, as far as aspect of protection, comes from when using tourmaline. You also want to take into consideration some of the negative aspects that we have of ourselves. Tourmaline is definitely good to help you gain that confidence within yourself, neutralize and cleanse yourself from negative self-talk, negative thoughts and emotions, such as anger that really just holds you back and holds you down. Those type of protection and negativity is what tourmaline is also good for the subconscious mind. We live constantly in the rush of our conscious mind, in our ego, and the things that we speak to ourselves, which is really a form of protection, because if you don't have a sense of protection and thinking things through before you act, then you may expose yourself to dangerous situations. But at the same time, if you bring that sense of protection into the realm of fear, then you hold yourself back. So this is where tourmaline is good to help you get in touch with your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is where the real action occurs, where real manifestation can be cultivated in order for you to see changes, not only within yourself, but your environment as well. A lot of people don't understand what the subconscious mind is. So the conscious mind is pretty much what you think on a regular basis when you wake up, how you feel, how you just like universal intelligence that keeps us alive. And by cultivating your subconscious mind beyond your consciousness is very important, because that's where a lot of programmings take place. As far as what makes our personality, the things that we like and we don't like, the things that are pushed and influenced into us, it's mostly targeting the subconscious mind. So when you use tourmaline to balance yourself and also access your subconscious mind, you are in essence reprogramming yourself and letting yourself know that anything and everything is possible. So if you are a person that likes to meditate, that is a person that likes to study, that needs concentration and focus in your life, tourmaline is a great stone for you to have and add to your collection. As far as the mind, tourmaline is a great stone to help ground you. At least for me, when I'm working on different creative projects, sometimes my mind and my thoughts can be all over the place and it feels like I have 1,000 tabs open at once. But when I use Tourmaline or keep it near me, I use it to help ground me and bring me back to focus for the main reason that I initiated in that creative project or whatever it may be. Sometimes empaths or people who are sensitive to emotions or spiritual experiences can also use Tourmaline to help ground them. Sometimes when you're dealing with your spirit guides, or you're learning about ancestry or spiritual things, or just learning something new about yourself in general, it's important to ground yourself, because you don't want to just have like that mind of an airhead where everything just seems like it's all over the place and you can't seem to grasp where you're at. I know, at least for me personally, that happens a lot for me, so I always keep it in mind to ground myself with Tourmaline and ground my root chakra to just bring me back into perspective into who I am. When you're working with spiritual aspects of learning, such as ritual, learning about your ancestors, setting up spiritual altars, communicating with spirits and things like that, you don't want to lose your core self. Remember that you are a being unto yourself, and you're just recognizing these things that have existed within you forever. And when you're going through that process, you can go through a period of self-realization, but at the same time, you kind of can lose yourself if you're not aware. So grounding is important for you to have that harmonizing energy between the higher aspects and the lower aspects of yourself, to keep that medium of energy just on a good harmonious level, where you're not feeling too grounded either, but you're not feeling too out of space either. So definitely using Tourmaline for that can be a great way for you to start communicating with spirit, with your higher self, and also reprogramming your subconscious mind to achieve and manifest anything that you desire. So Tourmaline is also known to have an electromagnetic field. So if you place this on your desk or any space, it helps enliven, purify, and transmute the energy in that space. Transmuting means to take energy and transform it into something else. So if you're dealing with sort of a psychic attacks or just negative energy, concentrating and meditating with a beautiful selenite like this one can help you transform that energy into something that can benefit you. A lot of the times, the issues and problems that we deal with are created within ourselves. Yes, things happen around us. People are going to be how they're going to be. But the important thing is how you react to that and how you bounce back from whatever setback you may be going through. I was mentioning, so it is electromagnetic, so you can definitely carry it with you to purify and uplift your vibrations as far as your auric field. There are many different levels of existence and ethereal levels that we exist in, and there are certain stones that help us with our ethereal aspects and levels to ourselves that exist, and definitely Tourmaline is one of those stones for its electromagnetic energy and ability to purify any toxic energy that you may be carrying or that may be around you in your space. So Tourmaline can be used, as mentioned, for any purpose. You don't really have to put too much thought into it. Just make sure that when you first receive any stone that you do cleanse it. So I normally cleanse my stones by putting it outside in the sunlight and also the moonlight for a day. You want to be careful because some are very sensitive to light, so you don't want them to crack or break. But I usually late afternoon, overnight into the early mornings, I like to leave it out just to capture that energy of the day as well as the night and the cosmic stars and the shooting stars and all that beautiful stuff. Then I take a special concoction of water that I have, which is mixed with holy water, bay water, Florida water, rose water, just a mix of water. And I just sprinkle it over them by saying a few prayers and affirmations for what I will be charging them with. Then I go with a little bit of smoke of tobacco or incense that I may have around and just spray that over them. Just blow that smoke over them just to purify and cleanse them. And then lastly, I may sit them in some herbs or sprinkle some herbs over them before I charge them with my full intention. So I have various pieces in my collection. I can show you these two that I normally carry with me. So these are just little tumbled stones of tourmaline that I normally give away as free gifts at my shop. But I carry these either in my bra or my pocketbook, or I use these special stones to put it in bottles of water or mason jars of water, so I can use them as a base for any aura baths that I may be using. Or I usually put them in little pouches of little talismans or lucky charms that I may be doing for protection, for balancing, for focus. These are normally the size and ideal sizes that I would use to use that in any sort of ritual that I may be using or maybe carrying. The other stone, which looks very similar to this, is this size that I normally carry as well in my bra, but it is a little bit big and can be a little bit uncomfortable, so I like the softer tumbled ones to put in my bra. But this I also carry in my pocketbook. I leave it sometimes in my car, at my desk at work. It really depends on, you know, how you're feeling, what your intuition is telling you to put it to use for. And I also cleanse it the same way that I have this little piece that I keep at my desk exclusively. Sometimes I take it out just to put in other places, but this one stays by my desk to purify, cleanse, and just make sure there aren't any electromagnetic energy, you know, interfering with my energy field. Sometimes computers and devices, people may, you know, send negative energy through them, or sometimes just their electromagnetic field can affect your energy as well, can drain you, make you feel tired, lose concentration, and so forth. So this is a nice stone to keep by my desk and use it for another way. I like to use this, and I did show a previous video. I like to put this on top of mason jars, and I have one here. Let me show you as an example. What I like to do is I fill it up with moon water, any charged water, and just lay it on top to just charge the water or the bath that I may be having. Now, when I say aura baths, I don't mean that I have a bathtub. I haven't had to have a bathtub in years, and that's something that I'm hoping to manifest for the near future. But mostly I should call it an aura rinse. So I take the water, I steep it in herbs, charge it with crystals, whatever it may be, and just rinse myself. After I take a normal shower with my normal soap, rinse off all the dirt and human grime, I go in and do a final rinse with an aura or spiritual bath, as I call it. It should be a bath because ideally you want to soak in it, but none of us really have that luxury. Most of us don't really have that luxury of a bath, including myself. So I just take a mason jar, a pitcher, fill the pitcher up with warm or even hot water, add my bath, and just pour it over myself, and that is my aura rinse that I use. Sometimes if you want to, you can use it from head to toe, but if I don't want to wet my hair that night or that day, I just take a little tip of the water, put it on top of my head, the back of my neck, and my forehead, third eye, and I'm good to go. It's not that complicated, people. It's just you creating your imagination, creating your reality. In addition to grounding you and helping you feel secure, as far as stimulating your root chakra, which deals with security, money, career, your place in the world. It's a very good stone to have for you to use during beginnings of any sort of project or life-changing event. Sometimes when we go through changes, we get so afraid of what's going to happen. Why did this happen to me? And we lose focus of just getting into the groove of just moving on and just accepting the change and adapting to the change. So having fear is a thing that you don't want to feed into. And I strongly suggest you have a tourmaline stone, especially if you're going through a very extensive life-changing experience, because it'll help you feel secure in that time of change, which at times we deal with not only fear but self-doubt, and just a lot of negativity can breed. Sometimes change happens for a reason, and you just have to surrender yourself to the change and just let it flow and see what that change is trying to tell you. They all have their personality, they all have energy. When I touch this stone, I realize the power that I have within. We all have the powers within. We all are the activators of the good, the bad, the impossible in our lives. So when you are trying to, and this is the thing that a lot of people lose to when they're trying to do the secret or the power of manifestation, if you don't believe it in your heart, you're not going to make it happen. You have to change the way you think and how you feel about yourself in order for you to really attract those things that you are looking to attract in your life. Because if you have this stone and you look at it and you're like, you have to take the stone and say, you are going to protect me. You are going to balance me with this situation. You are going to help see me through what it is that I'm dealing with. And that is what its purpose is going to be. Because I know this may sound a little too much for some people, but we are gods within ourselves. God is within us. And if we don't know how to appreciate that about us, then there is really no hope in order for us to really transform and transcend into what we really came into this world for. Do you think we came here to be afraid of the things that are happening? Yes, things is real. They're happening to us. We have to protect ourselves from it. But we can't dwell and continue to feed into it, because we're going to give it life. More life than it initially anticipated that it would. And that's what, social engineering and social things really come into play, into influencing our state of minds and how we think of ourselves and our future and manifestation. So I didn't want to get into all that, not a rant, but I just giving my opinion. I don't necessarily like to share my personal opinions because it really doesn't matter. My job here is to show you how to work and manifest with the things that I have experience with. I always say lead your life by example, and people will gravitate and follow accordingly. I don't necessarily just teach people for them to just know the basic and the minimum. I teach people so I expect them to also go out and teach others as well. That's the whole purpose here. If you're not looking to teach others, then what's your purpose here? Your purpose here is to live your best life and teach others how to live their best lives as well. So Tourmaline is a great stone to help you ground and find who you truly are without all the static around you and all of the he said, she said, what should be, what you shouldn't do. Just be who you want to be, and just find yourself within the quietness of your soul. Looking to just, look at something different in your life. Give Tourmaline a try. You don't have to get a big piece like this, but you can most definitely get a little pebble, a little piece, and just interact with it and see how far your mind will take you. Look how beautiful these crystal inclusions. This is one that I use to meditate for myself. This is my personal piece that I just completely love and use it at all times. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. I had a great time showing you my favorite stone, Tourmaline. Make sure that you link down below to the blog and the shop so you can learn how you can use Tourmaline for a variety of purposes that I mentioned here. I also have a few of these left at the shop, so make sure that you do link down below so you can take a look and see. And also subscribe to our newsletter where we do share a lot of discount codes and tips and tricks that you can use on a regular basis. So thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.